1199. The year one of Europe's greatest warrior kings met an end more humiliating than anyone could imagine. Richard the Lionheart, hero of the Crusades, the man who had terrified Saladin's armies, would not die in glorious battle. Instead, he would be brought down by a single crossbow bolt and a fatal mistake in the surgeon's tent. This is the death history tried to clean up, but the truth is far darker. When Richard returned from the Crusades, his empire was collapsing. His enemies in France were advancing, the treasury was nearly empty, and rebellion brewed at home. Then came a rumor, a hidden treasure in a small French castle called Chabrol. Gold, relics, enough to fund another war and save his crown. Desperate for a quick victory, Richard led the siege himself. The castle was modest, its garrison small, and the king was confident. On the 25th of March, 1199, he rode up to inspect the walls wearing mail but no helmet. From above, a young crossbowman named Pierre Basile took aim. The bolt struck Richard in the shoulder. He stayed on his horse, wounded, but alive. No one knew this was the beginning of the end. In the king's tent, his physician tried to pull the bolt free, but snapped the shaft. He cut into Richard's flesh, digging for the embedded iron point. No antiseptic, no anesthesia, just candlelight and agony. By the time the bolt was out, the wound was torn wide and filthy. Within days, the infection had set in fever, swelling, the stench of rotting flesh filling the camp. The king's final act. By early April, Richard knew he was dying. He ordered Pierre Basile brought before him. The young man expected torture, but instead, Richard forgave him. He even ordered Basile to be freed and given money. It was the king's final act of mercy, and it would be betrayed after his death. Death and immediate collapse. On the 6th of April, 1199, Richard the Lionheart died in his tent. Almost instantly, his empire began to crumble. His brother John took the throne and quickly lost Normandy, Anjou, and much of the French lands. The Plantagenet Empire collapsed. France rose in power, and thousands suffered in the wars that followed. The tragic irony: the man who had faced down armies and survived years of brutal warfare was undone by a single crossbow bolt. A king who dreamed of Jerusalem died for a petty treasure in a forgotten French castle. The treasure itself was small and almost worthless. But the cost? An empire and the future of England. This was not the death of a hero Hollywood would show you. It was slow, painful, and pointless. A reminder that even the mightiest rulers can be brought low by the smallest of fates. Richard the Lionheart died, but with him died the empire he had fought his entire life to build.